Yanan, we should have the courage to pursue our own happiness instead of hesitating. We've already missed too many opportunities and time that could have been happy because of misunderstandings between us and our own hesitation. Duan Jinju spoke very sincerely. Chapter 9:10. At once, returning to the familiar city, Jiang Yanan felt much more relaxed both physically and mentally, although she still had to remain in a wheelchair and go to the hospital for regular checkups from time to time, which was quite troublesome. But living in Genie Garden with Duan Jinju taking care of her, things weren't all that bad in every aspect. On the 20th day of the 12th lunar month, Jiang Yanan suddenly asked Duan Jinju, "I don't feel like going back to the old house to celebrate the new year with Dad either. He'll be worried." Duan Jinju comforted Jiang Yanan. "Don't worry, I'll figure something out with Dad. The main thing is that the new year is coming, and you should be happy. If you want me to bring both kids over, I'll arrange for someone to pick them up, or why don't you just come with me to my villa? We can celebrate there, it's spacious, and we'll have both kids with us." Jiang Yanan was still concerned, but then Dad would be alone, maybe it's better to let Tianbao stay with him. At this point, no matter what choice they made, it seemed somewhat inappropriate. Jiang Yanan didn't know what she should do either. She wanted to accompany her father, but she didn't want him to know how serious her leg injury was. Anyway, she had already instructed that within the company, apart from Suosuo and Ju Hansheng, no one knew the specifics of her leg condition. Now, she and Duan Jinju hadn't remarried either. If I were to just move into his villa like this, it doesn't seem quite appropriate. Jiang Yanan felt somewhat conflicted, but she didn't want to be so blunt with Duan Jinju. If she brought it up, the two of them would probably end up in another argument. After much deliberation, Jiang Yanan said, "Anyway, with my leg in this condition, why don't I just stay at Genie Garden for now? Liu Menghan is about to get engaged. Let me decide where to live after her engagement, okay?" Jiang Yanan had just finished speaking when her phone rang. It was Chen Yufan, someone she hadn't been in contact with for a long time. Chen Yufan's call came as a surprise to Zhong Yanan as well. "Hey, what's wrong?" "Sis, I heard you injured your leg. Is that true? I've been abroad and just returned. Where are you now? Let me come see you." Chen Yufan sounded concerned. "How did you know?" Jiang Yanan was taken aback, glancing at Duan Jinju. "I have some other matters to attend to today. How about tomorrow? Would that work?" Chen Yufan smiled happily and said, "Of course, my precious goddaughter told me." "What exactly happened to you?" "Never mind, I'll come see you tomorrow, and we can talk about it slowly." "What about Liu Menghan?" "I haven't contacted her yet." Jiang Yanan sipped warm water. I also haven't had the chance to tell her I'm back home yet. I'll give her a call later. If she's free tomorrow, why don't you both come together?" Chen Yufan thought for a moment. "Alright, what would you like to eat tomorrow?" "Liu Menghan and I will bring something over." I might as well get you a New Year's gift while I'm at it. You rest well then." "That's settled." After hanging up, Chen Yufan immediately called Liu Menghan. Liu Menghan didn't answer as quickly as she usually did. It wasn't until Chen Yufan called a second time that she picked up. Chen Yufan said, "I'm back, and Yanan is back too. She injured her leg. Let's go see her together tomorrow. Do you want to come along to buy something for her before we visit?" Liu Menghan lived in her own villa. Hearing this, her tone instantly turned concerned. "What happened to Yanan? What's wrong with her leg?" Chen Yufan was taken aback. So Liu Menghan didn't know yet. He cleared his throat. "She injured her leg. She probably didn't tell you because she didn't want you to worry. She only returned to Genie Garden yesterday. Let's go see her tomorrow and cook some hot pot for her." Liu Menghan agreed immediately. "Where are you now? Should you pick me up, or should I come to you?" Chapter 9:11. Need to step in and resolve. Liu Menghan got into Chen Yufan's car. It had been a long time since the two had seen each other. Liu Menghan's expression on her face was somewhat aloof. Compared to before, it was as if she had completely become a different person. Chen Yufan was also very composed. After all, he was already 25 or 26 years old, successful in his career, yet had never been in a relationship. So, "Sis, what should we buy for Yanan?" Liu Menghan wasn't concerned about what to buy, but instead asked worriedly, "How is Jiang Yanan's leg really doing? She didn't tell me." No wonder she said she needed to reconsider attending my engagement party. It turns out she didn't want me to see her leg and worry. You're getting engaged? Chen Yufan was surprised. Liu Menghan nodded, then immediately shook her head. There's been a bit of a situation now. Liu Menghan couldn't help but sigh. She didn't want to tell Chen Yufan about this matter. She would only inform others once everything became clear. What about you? Are you in a relationship now? Do you have a girlfriend? Liu Menghan didn't want to continue talking about herself, so she changed the subject to ask about Chen Yufan's situation. Chen Yufan drove the car. I'm dating someone, but it's just for fun. I don't have any thoughts of marriage. We're just hanging out together, but we're both on the same page. There's nothing ulterior. It's a normal relationship. Don't worry, I wouldn't take advantage of a young girl. Liu Menghan certainly believed Chen Yufan wouldn't mistreat a young girl. He had always been generous with them. If someone dated him, he would be very open-handed and wouldn't treat the girl poorly. It was simply a case of mutual consent, one willing to give, the other willing to take. So Liu Menghan didn't comment much. He knew Chen Yufan had always liked Jiang Yanan, and now that Jiang Yanan's life had turned out this way, Chen Yufan surely had his own plans. So he's a grown man with a successful career, he can date however he wants, and no one would interfere. The two went to the mall and pharmacy to buy many things for Jiang Yanan. Liu Menghan also returned to his family's old house and took many nutritional supplements that others had gifted to his father, intending to give them to Yanan. She didn't blame Yanan in the slightest, nor did she blame her for not telling her about her leg injury. Liu Menghan knew that Yanan was also afraid of worrying her, so she wouldn't blame Yanan for not telling her. After shopping with Chen Yufan, the two returned to the car. They both breathed a sigh of relief. Chen Yufan sighed with emotion. I didn't expect Yanan to end up with Duan Jinju after all. My goddaughter told me that during their time abroad, it was Duan Jinju who took care of Yanan, and whenever issues arose in Yanan's company, it was Duan Jinju who stepped in to resolve them. Liu Menghan nodded and said, they've been through a lot of twists and turns. It's truly best if they can be together. Duan Jinju is probably the man most suited for Yanan in the whole world. Liu Menghan continued, it's just, Yanan has only just found out that Duan Yashuan is her child. She must be feeling quite guilty, after all these years. Chen Yufan interrupted Liu Menghan, it's alright, she knows her own life best. Actually, things turning out the way they have now isn't bad at all. As long as their family of 4 is stable and happy, that's what matters. Liu Menghan smiled but hadn't spoken yet when she suddenly received a call from Xu Yangan. Xu Yangan's tone on the other end of the line was harsh. What are you doing? Where are you? With whom? Xu Yangan's voice sounded hoarse, and Liu Menghan could tell immediately that he must have smoked and drunk heavily these past few days. Liu Menghan thought for a moment. I'm with Chen Yufan, planning to check on Yanan. What's wrong? Chapter 9:12 Experiencing a Lifetime. Xu Yangan smiled bitterly. Menghan, do you have time? Let's go handle the divorce procedures. Liu Menghan's heart suddenly sank. She had waited for days, anticipating Xu Yangan's call to finalize their divorce. But she never expected Xu Yangan to be so decisive. When he actually called to ask her for a divorce, Liu Menghan's emotions seemed suddenly very complicated. Her heart felt instantly hollow. All right, I have my documents with me. Shall I wait for you at the Civil Affairs Bureau entrance? What time? As Liu Menghan spoke, her nose began to sting with tears. She knew that since the child was Xu Yangan's, their divorce was inevitable sooner or later. The only thing she hadn't anticipated was how rocky her path of love would turn out to be. I finally thought I could be happy, that I was so close to happiness. But things turned out this way. Liu Menghan also forced a bitter smile, her voice trembling slightly. Xu Yangan, let's have dinner together later. Xu Yangan remained silent on the other end of the phone and hung up directly, giving Liu Menghan no further chance to speak. A minute later, Liu Menghan received the message. Xu Yangan had sent the time and the location of the Civil Affairs Bureau. Liu Menghan's heart instantly felt hollow, and a sharp pain stabbed through her. She didn't understand why she wasn't worthy of happiness in this lifetime. She didn't deserve happiness, did she? Liu Menghan's tears fell. Chen Yufan watched from the side, feeling inexplicably moved. He had known Liu Menghan for quite some time. many years in fact, and was well aware of her character. As for Liu Menghan's feelings, Chen Yufan had always been observing them. At this point, Chen Yufan didn't know what to say. He just handed her a tissue. "Are you okay? Where should we go now? Should we eat first or what?" Liu Menghan shook her head. "Let's go to the Civil Affairs Bureau and get the divorce procedures done." Liu Menghan was feeling extremely upset. Chen Yufan drove the car to the Civil Affairs Bureau. Just as Xu Yangan arrived, Chen Yufan hesitated for a moment. Initially, he hadn't planned to get out of the car, but he still accompanied Liu Menghan inside. Having known each other for so long, Liu Menghan was like an elder sister to him, occupying a place in his heart second only to Jiang Yanan. Seeing Chen Yufan and Liu Menghan together, Xu Yangan was overwhelmed with mixed emotions. In just these few days, he seemed to have aged 10 years. Despite being barely over 30, he looked as if all his energy had been drained from him. "You're here." Xu Yangan looked at Liu Menghan. "Let's go inside." He had no more words to say. He was no longer like before, where every time he saw Liu Menghan, his heart would flutter, he'd feel happy, and smile genuinely from the heart. Today he saw Liu Menghan. Instead, his heart felt as cold as lake water. The two looked at each other without words, calmly went through the procedures at the Civil Affairs Bureau, and it took less than 20 minutes in total. After leaving the Civil Affairs Bureau, both holding divorce certificates, Liu Menghan got into Chen Yufan's car. Before getting into his own car, Xu Yangan suddenly said coldly, "Take care, Menghan. I never thought we'd end up not being together after all. Never thought I'd ultimately lack the fortune to spend a lifetime properly with you. Perhaps I'm just not meant to have happiness in this lifetime. But Menghan, I still wish you happiness. Goodbye. If you ever need anything from me in the future, just reach out. I'll be there without hesitation. Best wishes." Liu Menghan's nose and eyes were burning with unshed tears. She looked up at Xu Yangan, gazing deeply at him one last time, her heart overflowing with emotion. "Goodbye, and I wish you all the best." In less than 2 months, they had lived through what felt like a lifetime together. Yet, they had come to accept their fate, destined never to be together. Liu Menghan rolled up the car window. Chapter 9:13 I'm Not a Good Person. Liu Menghan never dreamed that her star brother would be so elusive. Her breathing became labored, and her emotions, unusually fragile, were on the verge of collapse. Chen Yufan, driving the car, dared not disturb her any further. "Sis, where should we go now?" Chen Yufan looked at Liu Menghan. Feeling a pang of heartache for his sister, Chen Yufan didn't think too much. He was more than willing to accompany Liu Menghan at such a time. Liu Menghan remained expressionless. As if drained of all energy by a vampire, she seemed like a walking corpse. "Whatever, come have a drink with me." Liu Menghan's voice sounded muffled. She didn't want to know why Xu Yangan had suddenly become so resolute. Perhaps he had suddenly figured things out. Liu Menghan's heart felt utterly empty, devoid of any sensation. It hurt, but it seems like I don't care that much anymore. This matter had been bothering her for nearly 10 days. To say she's gotten over it would be a lie. How could she? After finally obtaining happiness, Liu Menghan's heartbeat was erratic. Chen Yufan didn't say any words of comfort. He just looked at Liu Menghan and said, "Then I'll drink with you. I'll keep you company until you're happy." Alright, they found a quiet bar, free from blaring music or any noisy distractions. They chose a booth in the corner. Liu Menghan was quite normal at first. Later, Liu Menghan drank more and more. Chen Yufan has a high alcohol tolerance. Having been drinking since he entered society at 15 or 16, he's been drinking for over 10 years now. Only this time, he drank very slowly. He didn't want Liu Menghan to drink too much, and he didn't want to drink too much either, because then no one would be able to take care of her. "How are you feeling now?" Chen Yufan asked, very worried. Liu Menghan drank in silence, and after half a box, she felt dizzy. "Sister, you look like you're in so much pain. What should I do?" Chen Yufan was also a little tipsy. Liu Menghan's voice was a little muffled. "I don't need you to do anything. Just quietly stay with me. Drink with me. You're Yanan's brother, and you're my brother too, right?" Liu Menghan's eyes were red. "It's not that I necessarily want to drown my sorrows, but I can't find any other way." Liu Menghan spoke in a muffled voice. her mind completely consumed with how to make herself stop hurting. You don't understand me, someone like me, 3 relationships, all ending in such agony. I haven't done anything terrible, so why is fate so cruel to me? Chen Yufan's heart softened a little. Although he had no ulterior motives towards Liu Menghan, he still felt for her, seeing her now so alone and helpless. Who can truly understand love? It was clear to everyone that Xu Yang'an had always loved Liu Menghan. Now that the two have developed to this point, Chen Yufan feels a bit uncomfortable. He drank cup after cup with Liu Menghan, who suddenly started crying. He didn't have so many thoughts to ponder, he just patted her on the shoulder. How are you? Chen Yufan's heart was also a mess now. Stirred up by Liu Menghan's crying, Liu Menghan didn't cry out loud, she was heartbroken. Alright, you can lean on my shoulder. Chen Yufan's heart was racing. Liu Menghan threw herself into Chen Yufan's arms. And almost instantly, Chen Yufan instinctively held her tightly. Sister. Chen Yufan's face was a little pale, and his voice changed. Don't be like this. I'm not a good person. The music in the bar was slow and ambiguous, and the lights were dim. Alcohol went to my head. Liu Menghan didn't move, her hair exuding a faint fragrance. Chen Yufan emphasized again. Sister, I'm not a good person. Chapter 9:14. Let's perish together. Liu Menghan rubbed her head against Chen Yufan's shoulder. Her voice muffled. Am I a very unsuccessful person? No, sister, how could you be unsuccessful? I'm the one who failed. No matter how your life is, it's not as messy as mine. Right, Liu Menghan's heart was a little chaotic. She didn't know what she should do in the future. It's not like anything unreasonable happened. So, how do I find happiness? Liu Menghan's voice sounded pitiful. Chen Yufan's mind also started to wander. He was never a man with principles when it came to matters of the heart. He was certainly no gentleman. Liu Menghan was silent for a long time, then suddenly looked up. Chen Yufan swallowed, and then kissed Liu Menghan. Sister, do you want me then? Let me comfort you. Okay, Liu Menghan smiled. Then are you good at it? Okay, shall we go try it? Then you'll know if my skills are good or not. How about it? Liu Menghan's remaining sanity told her not to make her life so messy. But now she couldn't hold back at all, nor did she want to inexplicably keep holding back. Chen Yufan hugged her. Sister, I'll give you one more chance. If you don't want it, Liu Menghan instantly wrapped her arms around Chen Yufan's neck. It's ruined. My life is completely ruined. What do I want? What do I want? From today onwards, I want to enjoy life and focus on my career. I will never have feelings for anyone again. Liu Menghan's eyes were red, leaving almost no room for maneuver. She knew she shouldn't give up on herself, but right now, she simply didn't want to listen to advice. I'm only giving you one chance. If you want to, then want to. If not, then forget it. After today, we'll be strangers. Don't tell Yanan about this either. Chen Yufan, I know you're not a completely bad person. But right now, Liu Menghan shook her head and raised a hand to rub her temples. Never mind, just take me home. Chen Yufan gave a bitter smile. Sis. You've got me all worked up like this. How am I supposed to just take you home? The only place I can take you is somewhere else. Tonight, how could I possibly feel at ease leaving you alone? Come with me. All right. Chen Yufan gazed at Liu Menghan, his eyes burning with intensity. Liu Menghan didn't want to do anything she might regret either. She tried her best to stay rational, but Chen Yufan handed her another bottle of alcohol. Sis, how about we drink a little more? Liu Menghan laughed loudly. You just want to bully me, don't you? If you want to bully me, just say so directly. Don't get me drunk. Chen Yufan's smile deepened. Sister, I'm just taking advantage of the situation. Is this your first day knowing me, or, after tonight? If you want me to be responsible for you, I can be responsible. Liu Menghan's heart pounded more and more violently. She didn't know what she was doing. Besides, sister, how is it that I'm bullying you? Why can't it be you bullying me? What do you say? It's not certain who is bullying whom between the two of us, is it, sister? Chen Yufan's repeated use of sister was incredibly frustrating. Let's have a few more drinks, then we'll talk. Can we make a decision after we finish the wine? I just got divorced today. You need to let me calm down. Liu Menghan was not a timid person. Faced with such things, she had also learned to be open-minded. How could young men and women today, or rather, she who had experienced so much, not accept such things? Besides, what kind of bad person is Chen Yufan? He's not clueless. If we're going to be destroyed, let's be destroyed together. Chapter 9:15. She really broke down. The two of them drank another half a case of wine together until Liu Menghan couldn't drink anymore. She lay in Chen Yufan's arms, sobbing uncontrollably. Chen Yufan waited for her for about 10 minutes, then tossed a card to the waiter to pay the bill. After paying, he picked Liu Menghan up in his arms and carried her directly out of the bar and into the car. Liu Menghan was locked in the passenger seat by Chen Yufan, and she didn't say a word. Chen Yufan drove straight to the hotel and brought Liu Menghan back to her hotel room. Liu Menghan never thought of herself as a good person now, because even Xu Yangan didn't want her anymore. How good could she be? Liu Menghan thought to herself, even a man like Xu Yangan couldn't be with her, so who could? She's in her early 30s now, probably never going to get her big break. She seems mediocre in her career and a complete mess in love. Life, though ordinary, is true in its simplicity, but she doesn't want to be completely untouched by happiness. Finally, both his father and mother knew about him and Xu Yangan, and they were going to get married. The engagement party invitations had already been sent out, and now it had come to this. Liu Menghan inwardly admitted that not being frantic was a lie. But what could she do even if she was frantic? Could it change the facts? Liu Menghan, in tears, was carried back to the hotel room by Chen Yufan. "Sister, I'm going to take a shower first. You rest a bit and drink some hot water." Chen Yufan poured hot water for Liu Menghan. Liu Menghan leaned motionless on the sofa. She didn't know what to do. What could she do? Life was already a complete mess. Liu Menghan softly responded with an and eventually took out her phone to make a call to Jiang Yanan. Jiang Yanan answered the phone and immediately heard Liu Menghan crying, her heart instantly tightening. Jiang Yanan was sitting on the terrace admiring the moonlight. It had been a long time since she last enjoyed the moonlight on the terrace of Genie Garden, only this time, she was sitting in a wheelchair. "What's wrong, Menghan? What happened? Don't cry." Menghan's voice was faint, but her emotional state was utterly shattered. "Yanan, I got divorced. Xu Yangan doesn't want me anymore." Liu Menghan spoke each word with utter devastation, as if she were dying. Jiang Yanan's heart ached instantly upon hearing this. "All right, don't cry. Where are you? Come to me. My legs aren't well right now, so I can't come to you immediately. Why don't you come to me instead?" Jiang Yanan's heart ached unbearably. Why couldn't Menghan find happiness? "No, I won't come." Liu Menghan refused. Forget it. I need to calm down. Don't go asking Xu Yangan either. He's done nothing wrong. The fault lies with life itself. The real mistake is that he and I simply weren't meant to be." With these words, Liu Menghan hung up the phone in tears, utterly devastated. Jiang Yanan stared at the disconnected phone for a moment. Lost in thought, she called Duan Jinju, who was browsing his phone in the living room. Asking him to come out to the balcony, Duan Jinju walked from the living room to the balcony. "What's wrong? Yanan, are you feeling cold? Let me will you back inside." Jiang Yanan shook her head and looked up at Duan Jinju. "Jinju, Xu Yangan and Liu Menghan had a fight. Liu Menghan said he got divorced. Was it because Xu Yangan's mother interfered?" Duan Jinju frowned and thought carefully. "From what I know of Xu Yangan, it's impossible. If it were just her mother stopping them, Xu Yangan wouldn't give up. There must be something else going on." Duan Jinju looked at Jiang Yanan. "Do you want to know what happened between them? My suggestion is to wait until your leg heals, or until they tell you themselves." Jiang Yanan shook her head. "No, call Xu Yangan now and ask him to come over. I want to ask him why exactly. He liked Menghan so much. So why has it come to this?" Jiang Yanan sighed inwardly, feeling deeply upset. Chapter 9:16. She is desperate now. Duan Jinju naturally doted on Jiang Yanan. Since he couldn't handle her, he simply called Chen Yufan on his phone. Chen Yufan was initially on another call, so Duan Jinju hung up. Not long after, Chen Yufan called back. "What's up, bro?" Chen Yufan's voice sounded a bit off. Duan Jinju glanced at Jiang Yanan, who directly reached out and took the phone. Jiang Yanan raised her voice. "What's going on between you and Menghan? Come over to Genie Garden, let's talk properly." Jiang Yanan knew deep down that this matter couldn't be properly discussed over the phone. Chen Yufan remained silent for a long time before uttering a single okay and hanging up the phone. Duan Jinju gently guided Jiang Yanan from the balcony back to the living room. It's getting chilly. Let's go inside and wait for him. Would you like something to eat? I can order some takeout. Jiang Yanan shook her head. She had no appetite for anything at the moment. Jiang Yanan asked Duan Jinju to prepare her some honey water and bring over some alcohol. You and Shuan have some drinks together. My leg injury hasn't healed yet, so I won't join you for alcohol, but tonight, I must get Xu Yangan to explain things clearly to me. After all, I'm practically half a family member to Liu Menghan. Right now, I don't know who bullied whom or who betrayed whom between him and Liu Menghan. All I know is that after all their twists and turns to reach this point, it's not easy for them to just separate like this. I find it very hard to agree. Duan Jinju looked at Jiang Yanan with some helplessness but could only comply with her request. Half an hour later, Xu Yangan knocked on the door. Duan Jinju went to open the door and immediately caught the scent of alcohol on Xu Yangan. He gestured for him to sit on the sofa. I ordered some barbecue. It'll be here soon. Let's have a drink first. Come, sit down. Your sister-in-law wants to hear exactly what happened. Xu Yangan looked utterly dejected, listless, and almost devoid of any vitality. Jiang Yanan watched him and couldn't help but suspect that even making it to Genie Garden and finding the right apartment door must have taken tremendous effort. Holding the honey water, Jiang Yanan got straight to the point without beating around the bush. All right, tell me, what exactly happened? Xu Yangan looked utterly dejected as he took the bottle of liquor Duan Jinju handed him. Tilting his head back to down it in one go, he hadn't been sober much during this period. Meng Han and I got divorced, Xu Yangan uttered despondently, tossing the empty bottle into the trash before opening another one himself. Our divorce was my fault, and over something absolutely ridiculous. Remember that girlfriend I dated before? She got pregnant and had the baby. I had no idea, not a single clue. Until recently, she suddenly appeared and found Meng Han, saying she had given birth to a child. I took the child for a paternity test, and it was indeed mine, so I had no reason to keep Meng Han. I asked her to divorce me. It was very hard for me, and my heart aches, but more than that, I've actually become numb by now. Jiang Yanan was completely shocked after hearing this. She glanced at Duan Jinju, then looked at Xu Yangan, truly at a loss for words at the moment. Jiang Yanan took a sip of honey water and forced herself to digest this fact after calming down for a while. Is it true? So you too? Jiang Yanan didn't know what else to say. This news was too suffocating for her, and she could fully imagine how desperate Meng Han must be feeling right now. Chapter 917 Our Fate. So now that things have come to this, I have nothing more to say. I wish her happiness. Xu Yangan's breathing grew slightly rapid. Having briefly possessed her was already my blessing. I don't want to burden her anymore, much less drag her down any longer. God has already given me the chance to be with her, and I cherished it. At least the time I spent with her was the happiest days of my life. From now on, I have no more expectations. I'm already content with this life. After I recover a bit more and finish the new year, I'll focus on the family business. I won't get married either. As for that child, I'll support them if I must, but I'll never bring them home. I'll only provide financially, occasionally putting in a little effort. As for anything else, let fate decide. I don't want to get married again. No matter who I meet, I don't want to be with her anymore. Having a girlfriend is fine, but as for marriage, in this lifetime, I will only have marital relations with Meng Han. Those women, if they're willing, fine. If not, that's fine too. In this life, I'll just stay single. There's nothing wrong with remaining single. Jiang Yanan found it utterly absurd. She had never encountered anything like this before. Why is human fate so rich and colorful yet so tormenting? No matter what, nothing seems satisfactory. So tired, Jiang Yanan didn't know what else to say. Jiang Yanan finished her honey water. Watching Xu Yangan and Duan Jinju drink alcohol with mixed feelings, Duan Jinju remained silent, lost in thought. Sister-in-law, do you think I'm truly destined to have no fate with Liu Menghan in this lifetime? Neither Jiang Yanan nor Duan Jinju spoke. They didn't know how to respond. The relationship between Xu Yang'an and Liu Menghan, one could say they witnessed its entire journey. All these years, they'd never seen Xu Yang'an so powerless before. Even when Liu Menghan was with Lu Yunli back then, Xu Yang'an hadn't been this utterly devastated, because at that time, Xu Yang'an knew that even if Liu Menghan ended up with Lu Yunli, even if they missed their chance with each other, their bond wouldn't completely shatter. At the very least, they could still occasionally see each other at dinners, whether doing well or not. But now, at this point, everything is gone, completely gone. Xu Yang'an was deeply depressed, even despairing. I never dreamed in my life that Liu Menghan and I would end like this. It turns out it was my fault, and she was actually the victim. Yanan, sister-in-law, brother Ju, I truly don't know what hope remains for the second half of my life. Love is no longer an option. Don't think like that. Time will heal all wounds. You need to consider yourself now. You have a child too. If you insist on being trapped in this relationship, what will you do moving forward? You haven't thought it through clearly. Jiang Yanan pursed her lips. Actually, the two of you are very compatible, in every way. It's just that the timing wasn't right. You were destined to meet but not to stay together. I'm being blunt here. That's simply how it is. Whether you accept it or not, you need to look ahead. Duan Jinju, who had been silent all this while, took a sip of wine and said, Xu Yang'an, love is something tied to life itself. You can never fight against fate. Do you have any idea how difficult it was for Yanan and me to come together? We've known each other for 7 or 8 years. Now our child is almost 6 years old. At this point, there have been many misunderstandings between us, and it hasn't been easy. Now that the misunderstandings are resolved, we can be together. The fundamental reason is that neither of us has wronged the other. Chapter 9:18, Unworthy of Sincerity. Jiang Yanan didn't expect Duan Jinju to say such words. And she was somewhat moved, but she also didn't have the energy to keep dwelling on the matters between him and Duan Jinju. Now that Xu Yang'an and Liu Menghan have reached this point, she feels extremely distressed and upset. If it were anyone else, she might have been able to ignore it. But Xu Yang'an and Liu Menghan are their closest friends. Even though she shouldn't interfere in others' romantic affairs, she can't just stand by and do nothing. Meanwhile, Liu Menghan collapses onto the hotel sofa. Chen Yufan stepped out of the shower, wrapping a towel around his waist as he walked up to Liu Menghan. Sis, would you like some water, or should we keep drinking? I remember you don't smoke, right? Mind if I do? Liu Menghan felt like Chen Yufan kept swaying before her eyes, his figure multiplying into blurry after-images. Stop swaying in front of me. You're making me dizzy. If there's more alcohol, just bring it. Your sister got divorced today. So happy about it. I'm even further from happiness now. Congratulate me, will you? Liu Menghan swayed her head unsteadily. She had already been drinking and wasn't fully sober. Coupled with her bad mood, she completely broke down and began rambling incoherently. Chen Yufan walked up to Liu Menghan, placed his hands on either side of her, and looked down at her. Sis, I won't let go. Then what should I do? How about you go to bed, or should I carry you to take a bath? Liu Menghan pushed Chen Yufan away. I want to drink. Today, I'll only talk about anything after I'm happy drinking, celebrating my return to singlehood again. Will you drink with me? Chen Yufan smiled happily. He dotingly kissed Liu Menghan on the cheek. Of course, tonight I'll risk my life to accompany you. Sister, I'd even give my life to drink with you. Liu Menghan also laughed. But you have a girlfriend, Chen Yufan said. Then I'll break up with her right now. Just wait. Chen Yufan picked up his phone while going to get the ball, making a call and putting it on speakerphone. In less than a minute, the call was answered on the other end. Honey, didn't you say you had something to do tonight? What made you think of calling me? A woman's gentle and playful voice came through the speaker. Chen Yufan said coldly, let's break up. Here's 200,000 yuan for you. That's it, it'll be in your account tomorrow. Don't contact me again, if you dare to reach out. You know my temper. With that, Chen Yufan hung up the phone and tossed it back onto the sofa. As he poured Liu Menghan a drink, he asked, so, are you satisfied now? Sis, I'm single too. You're such a fool. Liu Menghan replied, somewhat surprised. I'm so much older than you. Why play with an older sister? What? Haven't you had your fill of older women before? Chen Yufan was amused by Liu Menghan and handed her the wine. Haven't played before, do you think someone like me hasn't? What haven't I played? It's more like you. Chen Yufan trailed off, not continuing. More like me, more like me. What about me? Liu Menghan smiled. Am I not fun enough? Chen Yufan shook his head. Sis, both you and Yanenjie know my temper. How did I come to like Yanenjie back then? It's not like you're unaware. I'm someone with genuine feelings. It's just a matter of whether others deserve my sincerity or not. Liu Menghan remained indifferent, sipping her wine. So why do I deserve it? Your sincerity. Do you think I'd believe you could give me sincerity? Liu Menghan finished her drink and poured herself another glass. Chen Yufan, I don't trust men now. Well, it's not that I don't trust men, it's just that I don't believe I have such good luck to find happiness with a man. Chapter 919. Keeping me company like this. Liu Menghan smiled bitterly. Why are you putting yourself through this? Chen Yufan shook his head, sitting beside Liu Menghan. He stopped teasing her and his expression grew slightly more serious. He picked up a glass of wine and sipped slowly. Sister, my life has been worthless since childhood. I've never had a good day in my life. When I was young, I started working very early. To put it bluntly, my life has been worthless. But I've never felt that I don't deserve happiness. Even when I liked Sister Yanen before, I was sincere. It's not like a toad lusting after a swan's flesh. Rather, I believe that whatever I want, I'll strive for it, I'll try my best to get it, and if I can't, then so be it. I don't want to see myself clearly, nor do I want to resign myself to fate. So, sister, you come from a good family, you're quite capable yourself, it's just that you've had bad luck with a few men. Why should you take all the blame upon yourself? Liu Menghan was moved by Chen Yufan's words. Deep down, her rational mind told her that Chen Yufan was right. She had thought so herself. But from an emotional standpoint, he found it really hard to regain confidence and believe that he could lead a good life in the future. Liu Menghan and Chen Yufan had a heart-to-heart conversation that lasted a long time. Chen Yufan hadn't expected that what was supposed to be a steamy night turned into a deep discussion about life, after drinking too much. Chen Yufan carried Liu Menghan to bed but didn't do anything else, choosing instead to sleep on the sofa himself. Waking up from sleep, Liu Menghan opened another bottle of wine. She didn't want to stay sober. Chen Yufan was still asleep, drinking alone. She grabbed Chen Yufan's cigarettes, lit one, and started smoking. The cigarette smoke disturbed Chen Yufan's sleep. Chen Yufan opened his eyes and saw Liu Menghan smoking. So captivating. Chen Yufan stood up and embraced Liu Menghan from behind. Why don't we give it a try? Are you afraid of me? Afraid I might hurt you? Liu Menghan shook her head. What could possibly hurt me now, except myself? Chen Yufan, let's both be rational. Just drink, smoke, and chat with me. That's enough. Go and extend the room. We'll stay here for a few days. Don't worry. I won't do anything, nor do I want to. I don't want to tell Yanen about my troubles. Her leg hasn't healed yet, and I don't want to add to her worries. I want to calm down for a few days. Yet I also wish someone could be with me, to listen to me talk. Life is too lonely. From beginning to end, a person remains an independent individual. There's nothing I can do. At least I know you, whether as a friend or whatever else. At least you're willing. Can we just stay like this? Is that okay? Chen Yufan immediately picked up his phone to call the front desk, asking them to bring some food, fruits, snacks, desserts, cigarettes, alcohol, barbecue, rice, and soup. He ordered a bunch of things. Then extended their stay for another week and also asked the hotel to prepare some bathrobes. After finishing these arrangements, Chen Yufan hung up the phone and opened another bottle of wine himself. Good sister, if you want me to keep you company, I will. Don't worry, I'm not at the point where I'd force anyone. Much less you. You want me to keep you company and chat properly, so we'll chat. Later, you can go eat something and take a bath. Change out of your clothes and just wear a bathrobe. I'll have someone take your clothes to be dry cleaned and disinfected. During this time, let's just wear bathrobes. It's too much trouble to buy new clothes. Okay. Liu Menghan froze for a moment but eventually nodded. Chen Yufan, don't tell Yanen about these things. It's not that I'm trying to save face or afraid she'll find out, but rather I don't want her to worry. I'm actually fine, it's just that my heart aches too much. I had thought about marriage, but never imagined mine would be so brief, and to end in such a manner. So, even though I drank so much and slept it off, I still can't come to terms with it in my heart. Chapter 920. Pregnant again. Chen Yufan picked out nearly 100,000 yuan worth of alcohol. He said to Liu Menghan, "Since we're drinking, let's drink the good stuff, enjoy ourselves, and drink our fill." So he ordered a lot. Liu Menghan also drank calmly. Sipping slowly as the two chatted while drinking, Chen Yufan told Liu Menghan about his entrepreneurial journey. Liu Menghan listened quietly. Chen Yufan smoked a cigarette and said, "Actually, that year, I wasn't even 19 or 20 yet. His fingers were broken by Xu Yangan and he was sent to the mines. Later, he returned, after many twists and turns. As you know, someone like me knows nothing except what's on the construction site, fortunately, for Yanan. I thought it over and decided to seek refuge with my friend who runs an auto repair shop. To be honest, at nearly 20 years old, learning car repair was already a bit late, but I still worked quite hard. After all, I had worked on construction sites before, so enduring hardship wasn't a problem for me. It didn't take long before I became quite skilled, got a raise, and eventually opened my own car repair shop. I then did everything I could to expand and improve the business, opening many branches and eventually starting a company. Step by step, I've reached where I am today. Only I know how much hardship I've endured during this time. Fortunately, Sister Yanan never looked down on me. She treated me quite well and encouraged me, giving me the confidence to change and improve my life, to get closer to her. So why should we let ourselves see ourselves clearly? Don't you think so, sister?" Liu Menghan didn't say anything more. She nodded. "All right. Don't tell me about your life's misfortunes or how hard entrepreneurship is. You're a grown man. It's entirely thanks to your courage and determination that you've managed to live this relatively good life now, isn't it? Yesterday you casually spent several 100,000 on your little girlfriend. That's already far beyond what ordinary people can afford. Your life is pretty good right now, so I also hope you won't continue to mess up your current situation. Cherish it." Chen Yufan nodded. "I know, I wouldn't deliberately make my life miserable. I've always done my best and left the rest to fate. When it comes to matters of the heart, I've done what I wanted to do, and then let nature take its course. As for you and Xu Yangan, I don't know the specifics of your situation, but I've more or less gotten the gist of it. It's also fate that you can't be together. Often, many things don't yield results no matter how hard you try. What you need to do now is relax for a few days. By the way, think carefully about how you'll explain this to your mom and dad when you go back. Once that's settled, start living your own life." Liu Menghan still doesn't know how to explain things to her parents. Something that was already settled suddenly took an unexpected turn. And this kind of change isn't something everyone can quickly and easily accept, but she also doesn't know what to do. Keeping silent forever isn't a solution. The two of them just ate, drank, chatted, and slept in the hotel. A few days later, Liu Menghan woke up early in the morning and put on her own clothes. Suddenly, she felt nauseous while brushing her teeth. She immediately sensed something was wrong. Drawing from her previous experience, she instantly understood what was happening. This feeling definitely wasn't from drinking these past few days, nor from staying up late, because she felt something distinctly different. Liu Menghan panicked instantly and woke up Chen Yufan, who was sleeping on the sofa. I need to go back now to handle something. If you're going to see Yanan, call me along, but I won't have time today. Let's make it tomorrow. You've been keeping me company for days. You should get some proper rest too. After resting, don't contact me again today. Tomorrow morning, after you wake up, go buy what's needed. I'll transfer you 100,000, and we'll go see Yanan together." Chapter 921. A major decision. Liu Menghan returned home and immediately rummaged through the drawer for the pregnancy test. She took the test 3 times, and all 3 results were the same. Liu Menghan was utterly disheartened. She couldn't understand why fate insisted on playing tricks on her, teasing her, and refusing to let her be at peace. These past few days, she had been forcing herself, convincing herself. Now, suddenly faced with this situation, how could she not panic? Damn it. Why on earth was she destined for such a fate? Liu Menghan lay on the bed, turning things over in her mind for 2 hours. By noon, when it was almost time for lunch, she dialed Xu Yangan's phone number. Meanwhile, Xu Yangan was at Jiang Huainan's home. For the past few days, the three of them had been living together. Every day they chatted, played chess, drank, ate, and talked. Seeing Liu Menghan's call, Xu Yangan instantly sobered up. He glanced at his surroundings. It was the guest room at Jiang Yanan's house. Ah, not a dream. Xu Yangan touched his head and answered the phone. Menghan, what's up? Xu Yangan never dreamed that Menghan would take the initiative to contact him. What he least expected was Liu Menghan's opening words. Xu Yangan, I'm pregnant. Xu Yangan felt as if he'd been struck over the head. His mouth fell open, and it took him a long moment to recover. Finally, he managed to speak. What? Menghan, say that again. What happened to you? Xu Yangan couldn't quite believe his ears. Liu Menghan was very calm and serious. She even felt fortunate in her heart that nothing had happened between her and Chen Yufan. She said word by word, Xu Yangan, I'm pregnant. With your child. What should we do now? I want to hear from you. I want to know your thoughts. Xu Yangan was stunned for a full 3 minutes. While Liu Menghan kept staring at her phone on the other end of the call, she didn't hear any sound, but she was certain Xu Yangan hadn't hung up on her. Menghan, wait for me, Xu Yangan said before hanging up the phone. He got up, washed up, and went downstairs. Where Jiang Yanan was still sitting on the sofa drinking soy milk, Duan Jinju was also seated, sipping his coffee. Sis, bro, something's happened. Duan Jinju set down his coffee and said coldly, what's the matter? Jiang Yanan instantly had a bad feeling in her heart. Looking at Xu Yangan's very serious and solemn expression, is Menghan pregnant? Jiang Yanan is very perceptive. He could tell from Xu Yangan's expression and gaze, as well as his own understanding of him, if it weren't about Menghan, Xu Yangan wouldn't be so flustered. Menghan definitely wouldn't do anything foolish either. The only possibility is that she's pregnant. Xu Yangan nodded, his gaze and emotions equally complex. Sister-in-law. What should we do? Xu Yangan stood there helplessly, like a lost child. Jiang Yanan pondered for a moment. Do you want this child, or should you respect Liu Menghan's opinion more and ask her if she wants this child? Ask her if she's willing to live with you. You two shouldn't stay together just because of the child. But you also need to think carefully about how to get along in the future, for the sake of giving the child a complete family. You know Menghan's physical condition. She can't afford to abort this child again. If she aborts this one, she might never. Jiang Yanan couldn't bear to finish her sentence bluntly, nor could she bring herself to continue. He could only hint at it without going further. Xu Yangan was too upset. He took out a cigarette, put it between his lips, and lit it. After finishing the cigarette, it seemed as if he had made a very significant decision. I'll give her a call and ask what he thinks. But it seems like right now she's more interested in knowing what I mean. Of course I want the child. It's mine and Menghan's child. How could I not want it? Xu Yangan had a headache, but before he could finish his cigarette, his hands moved faster than his brain, and he dialed Liu Menghan's number. Liu Menghan seemed to have been waiting for a long time as well. Answering the phone instantly, Xu Yangan said, Menghan, I'm coming to find you now. Send me your location, and don't move. Chapter 922. Let's remarry. Liu Menghan was very obedient, sending her location over in less than a minute. However, she didn't send her home address but instead sent the location of the hospital. Xu Yangan drove straight to the hospital and saw Liu Menghan at the entrance. Xu Yangan understood why Liu Menghan had asked him to come directly to the hospital. She wanted to get checked there to confirm whether she was indeed pregnant. Xu Yangan walked over and grabbed Liu Menghan's hand firmly. Liu Menghan's fingers were icy cold. After all, it was only late January or early February, and the weather was still a bit chilly. Xu Yangan subconsciously looked at Liu Menghan's stomach. Liu Menghan was wearing a down jacket. Her figure hadn't changed at all, so he couldn't tell anything. Let's go. We'll talk after finishing the checkup. Liu Menghan's tone was eerily calm. Xu Yangan nodded, taking Liu Menghan's hand as he led her toward the hospital. Menghan, don't worry. No matter what happens, I'll always be by your side. What if there really is a child? Liu Menghan's voice was flat yet laden with complex emotions. We just finalized our divorce. Fate seemed to be playing tricks on the two of them. Having decided to be together, they were met with endless obstacles. Having decided to separate, they then had a child. There's no way I'm getting rid of this child, Liu Menghan stated first. Xu Yangan nodded. Don't get rid of it. I don't want you to get rid of it either. This is our child. Xu Yangan's attitude was firm. Xu Yangan accompanied Liu Menghan through her examination, and the two then ate at a restaurant near the hospital, waiting for the afternoon's examination report. A few hours, not a long time. Yet it felt agonizing for both of them. They both knew that Liu Menghan was truly carrying their child, but it seemed they were both waiting for a result. Just like that day when they waited for the paternity test results of the other child and Xu Yangan, during those few hours, neither of them spoke much. They either looked at their phones and did their own things, or simply sat in silence. It wasn't until around 3 or 4 in the afternoon that the test results came back, confirming Liu Meng's pregnancy. She looked at the report, her eyes stinging slightly. I wish I hadn't drunk so much. Liu Menghan felt a pang of regret. In her 30 years, she had done so many things and rarely regretted any of them. But now she regretted drinking so much a few days ago. I'm going to quit drinking starting today, Liu Menghan said, deliberately lightening her tone. Xu Yangan stood silently by, silent. It wasn't until much later that he, with red eyes, said to Liu Menghan, "Wife, since it's destined by heaven, let's not separate, okay?" Liu Menghan put away the examination report and sighed heavily. "What do you mean now?" Xu Yangan said. "The engagement ceremony will proceed as planned, and our wedding in the second half of the year will also proceed as planned, okay?" Xu Yangan suddenly felt relieved. "Fortunately, I didn't notify the guests about the cancellation of the engagement ceremony. Even if we want to hold it as scheduled, it's not impossible, wife. Will you, for the sake of our child, and because I'm truly sincere, can we? What about your other child?" Liu Menghan still couldn't help but think of that child, and those 5 paternity test reports. Xu Yangan fell silent, but quickly added, "Let's go find Yanan and brother Jinju. The 4 of us will stay at Genie Garden today. I've been there for many days now. It's been good, having them with me these past few days. Come on, let's go buy ingredients to make hot pot now." Liu Menghan was a little helpless. She knew Xu Yangan was also having a headache, but there was nothing she could do. Things had already developed to this point, so she decided to calm down and be rational first. Liu Menghan nodded and got into Xu Yangan's car. Chapter 923, I Am Rational and Calm. The 4 of them finally gathered at Genie Garden. Liu Menghan felt a pang of heartache when she saw Jiang Yanan in a wheelchair. "Yanan, you're so foolish. Why didn't you tell me? What good would telling you do? You just worry and worry. You already have so much on your plate every day. I didn't want to add to your worries. Besides, there's nothing you could do, right? Don't worry, I'm almost fully recovered." Jiang Yanan's tone was deliberately light-hearted. Actually, it would still be several months before her leg fully recovered. Liu Menghan fought back the stinging in her eyes and nose. Turning her gaze away, she genuinely felt sorry for Jiang Yanan. It wasn't an act. "But you," Jiang Yanan began, "tell me, what are you and Xu Yangan going to do? Now that all 4 of us are here, we need to come up with a solution and a plan. Don't either of you leave for the next few days. Stay here with me." Jiang Yanan was uncharacteristically strong and domineering. She didn't want Liu Menghan and Xu Yangan to be awkward with each other. After all, things had come to this point, and although she was an outsider, she should try not to meddle in their affairs. But Liu Menghan holds a different place in her heart. In her heart, Liu Menghan is her family, her younger sister. She can't help but worry about her. "You two chat first. Brother Jinju and I will go to the kitchen to prepare the hot pot. Just relax," Xu Yangan said eagerly. Not because of Jiang Yanan or Duan Jinju, but because Liu Menghan is now pregnant. After speaking, he gave Duan Jinju a meaningful glance, who knew Duan Jinju would remain unmoved. Xu Yangan had no choice but to grab his sleeve and drag him into the kitchen. "Let them talk. Menghan really needs Yanan right now," Xu Yangan whispered into Duan Jinzu's ear. The two entered the kitchen and closed the door behind them. Jiang Yanan sighed from her wheelchair. "I'll have some tea, and you can have juice or something." Let's have a good chat. Liu Menghan nodded and went to the beverage counter to prepare drinks. Yanan Jie. Liu Menghan handed the brewed tea to Jiang Yanan. Holding a cup of warm milk herself, what should we do about Xu Yangan's current child if I marry him? I wouldn't dislike his child. After all, I'm a woman too and will soon become a mother myself. But ultimately, this feeling is different. People always say stepmothers have it tough, although I'm not young anymore. I genuinely don't know how to handle this kind of relationship. Jiang Yanan also understood what Liu Menghan was worried about. How could she not comprehend Liu Menghan's concerns? Jiang Yanan sighed. It's all right. What matters most isn't your attitude, but Xu Yangan's. I believe he's also a person of good moral character. He can handle anything well. You can rest assured. Jiang Yanan pursed her lips and took a sip of tea. But what about you? Do you trust him yourself? Time reveals a person's heart. Every time something happens, can his way of handling it satisfy you? I'm not a bad person either. Yanan, you know I've never thought about those unnecessary things. Liu Menghan said helplessly. All I can think about is how Xu Yangan's family doesn't really like me either. They strongly oppose our relationship. So, I'm not sure if I'll have a good life in his family in the future. You won't be living with them anyway. There are plenty of rental options. You two can live your own lives, right? Jiang Yanan didn't quite agree with Liu Menghan's perspective. Don't worry, their resistance now is just because it's too sudden. After some time, they might calm down. Don't put too much pressure on yourself. In the kitchen, Xu Yangan was very excited. Bro, will sis-in-law persuade Menghan to get back together with me and live our lives? Have some dignity. Duan Jinju held a cigarette between his lips. Learn from me, rational and composed, Xu Yangan. Chapter 924, Their Outcome. Xu Yangan couldn't hold back. Bro, back when you were single and my sister-in-law ignored you, how did you get through it? Need I remind you? I was there for you then, keeping you company through thick and thin. Have you forgotten? Truly ungrateful. Xu Yangan was almost in tears. Bro, you can't kick down the ladder after crossing the bridge. Duan Jinju was amused by Xu Yangan. Alright, just joking. If I really didn't care about you, you wouldn't be here right now. Listen carefully. Menghan's only concern right now is about you and that child with Xu Tian. As long as you discuss with her how to handle the child in the future and what to do about your mom, everything will be fine. Got it? Xu Yangan nodded. It's not that I don't understand the logic. My mom is manageable. But the child, Xu Yangan felt a headache coming on whenever he thought of that child. I know what Menghan cares about, but she's pregnant now, probably not even 2 months along. Xu Yangan paused for a moment. Let's cook. The two of them finished cooking and brought the hot pot to the induction cooker table. The four of them enjoyed the warm hot pot together, with Duan Jinju and Xu Yangan drinking alcohol. Xu Yangan, feeling warmed up by the drink, suddenly said, So, Menghan, as I suggested, why don't we skip the engagement ceremony and go straight to the wedding? Now that you're pregnant, if we wait until the second half of the year to hold the wedding, your belly will be quite big by then. Do you think that's okay? Liu Menghan nodded. That's fine, it's not a big deal anyway. Just arrange it as you see fit. Or maybe we can change the wedding date to after the new year. By then, I should still be able to fit into a wedding dress. As soon as Liu Menghan finished speaking, she regretted it. She frowned. Wait, no, you haven't settled the issue with the child yet. What's all this talk about marriage? Xu Yangan glanced at Jiang Yanan and Duan Jinju. Not exactly. I've thought it through. If you can accept it, I'll provide a monthly allowance for that child and his mother. It won't be too much, but enough to live comfortably. Rest assured, I'll handle everything properly. I'll arrange for them to move to whichever city they prefer. And I won't interfere beyond that. All communication will go through my assistant. Menghan, you can't be this selfish. Liu Menghan took a sip of soup. After all, it's your child. How could you be so heartless? Do you want people to point fingers at me later? Liu Menghan frowned. That's not how it works. So you're suggesting we bring the child here to raise? Shutian might not agree. She's made it clear she wants to raise the child herself. It's not about cutting ties completely. I just don't want that child to affect our relationship. Xu Yangan spoke very bluntly, facing Liu Menghan. He didn't want to think too much, nor did he want to play any tricks. He just wanted to live a quiet and stable life with Meng Han. No, Meng Han. I'm definitely a person with feelings and principles. Don't you trust me on this? You should know what kind of person I am. Xu Yangan wiped his face, feeling somewhat upset. I'm just afraid you'll feel bad. Why don't we just do as I suggested? Okay, Xu Yangan continued drinking, and when he started feeling dizzy, he took Meng Han's hand. Meng Han, everyone makes mistakes, and I didn't know about that child. If I had known, I definitely would have. But unfortunately, there are no IFS, Xu Yangan said. He was somewhat dejected. Really? Unfortunately, there are no IFS. Liu Meng Han didn't dwell on it. She had already begun to resign herself to fate. I know you're helpless when things like this happen. Since the problem has arisen, we need to solve it. Xu Yangan, I think since your mother likes that child, why not let her take care of the baby? This way, she'll have something to do and be satisfied. As for Shutian, isn't it better for her to stay single? Jiang Yanan finally came up with a solution. Chapter 925. That's just how he is. Jiang Yanan and Duan Jinju put their hearts into saying a lot. Liu Menghan and Xu Yangan listened obediently. They are just like siblings. Completely inexperienced in living together as a couple. Well, brother, sister-in-law, we've made up our minds. We're getting married directly. Xu Yangan declared firmly. It wasn't easy to finally be with Meng Han. As for that child, I can't be bothered. Doing my part is already going above and beyond. Jiang Yanan glanced at Liu Menghan, who clearly didn't seem too concerned about these details. Sister Yanan, brother-in-law, I'll follow your lead, Liu Menghan said, her breathing calming down. Also, Xu Yangan, we really should ask your mother about the child now. Duan Jinju and Jiang Yanan exchanged glances, both knowing exactly what was on each other's minds. Neither of them harbored any ill intentions, yet their path was fraught with too many hardships. Liu Menghan and Xu Yangan stayed until after dinner before leaving. As Duan Jinju loaded the dishes into the dishwasher and finished cleaning up, he sighed to Jiang Yanan, we really should hire a housekeeper. Jiang Yanan nodded, sure, it's mainly because my legs aren't convenient, and you're not always here, the house still needs cleaning. Liu Menghan and Xu Yangan left Genie Garden, exchanging a smile. Their smiles were filled with nothing but helplessness and resignation, since things have come to this. I don't want to say anything more, Menghan, let's go. Do you have the documents? Let's remarry. Then, I'll have my assistant arrange the wedding ceremony. Liu Menghan was almost breaking down. I'm so tired, really exhausted. How can daily life be this exhausting? Xu Yangan took her hand to comfort her. What does it matter? We'll face the problems together and solve them together. They took the pregnancy test report and went to the Xu family's old house. Madame Xu looked at Liu Menghan with undisguised disdain. Mom, you're so kind to my child, but treat Menghan like this. Menghan is also carrying a child in her womb. Xu Yangan now felt more confident negotiating with Xu Masha. Liu Menghan couldn't help but glance at Xu Yangan a few more times. Xu Yangan's mood was clearly better than before. Mom, you need to understand what matters most to me right now. I have nothing more to say except that I hope you'll be more polite to Menghan in the future. She's my wife and the most important person in my life. Xu Yangan spoke earnestly and seriously. Madame Xu was frustrated by Xu Yangan's refusal to meet her expectations, having exhausted every possible method to no avail. She felt helpless, yet at a loss for words. If she spoke too harshly, Xu Yangan would completely turn against her. After all, she knew her own son best. What about your child with Shutian? Xu Masha played her final trump card. Xu Yangan looked coldly at Xu Masha. She gave birth to my child without my knowledge. All these years, they never appeared. Why should I suddenly bear this responsibility? I'm a victim too. Xu Yangan had never confronted Xu Masha his entire life. His behavior today was entirely because Xu Masha had gone too far, almost beyond reason. Xu Ma's face showed displeasure, feeling deeply hurt. Her own son, whom she had cherished and nurtured like a treasure, now taken away by such a woman. How could her heart not ache? Now Liu Menghan is the thorn in her flesh. She doesn't have the energy to think about so much. All she's thinking about now is how to drive Liu Menghan away, but with her son staking his life on this, nothing she does seems to matter. He truly loved this woman with all his heart. What exactly is so great about Liu Menghan that he can't forget her? She's just a worn-out shoe that everyone's had their turn with. What's so special about her? Madame Shu Ma was furious, but she knew she couldn't pressure these two right now. Then you all discuss it properly. I don't care. I just want my precious grandson. Grandma Shu began to act unreasonably. Chapter 926. Will you come to the wedding? Xu Yangan pulled Liu Menghan to sit on the sofa in the Xu family villa. He didn't care at all about the Xu couple's dignity or displeasure. I'll cover the bride price myself. But Mom, you need to contribute something. Xu Yangan directly arranged. Xu Marsha was somewhat puzzled. Contribute what? The bracelet. The bracelet Grandma gave to her daughters-in-law, Xu Yangan said without hesitation. He didn't want to avoid the issue. He wanted to give Liu Menghan and their child a proper, normal home. Xu Ma watched everything coldly. So, what are you thinking? Xu Ma suddenly turned fierce. She glared at Liu Menghan. Don't think just because you're pregnant now that I won't settle accounts with you. Are you even sure the child in your belly is Xu Yangan's? Liu Menghan was furious. She stared intently at Xu Yangan, who slammed the teacup heavily onto the coffee table. What exactly do you want now? My child is my child. What right do you have to say these things here? Mom, do you even respect Menghan at all? Give her the bracelet, and we'll leave. If you don't want to, fine. Do whatever you want. Liu Menghan's expression showed displeasure, but deep down, she couldn't care less about the bracelet. She didn't lack such things in the first place. She didn't care for Xu Ma's pity either. Liu Menghan didn't care for anything from Xu Ma, nor did she care whether Xu Ma liked her. If she was going to do something, she would do it ruthlessly. Liu Menghan's breathing grew heavier. Auntie, since you don't care for me calling you Mom, then I'll just keep calling you Auntie. I came today to make something clear to you. Liu Menghan's implication was clear. If it weren't for something important, she wouldn't have come to this godforsaken place. Go ahead, Madame Shu said coldly. After you're done speaking, go live your life with Xu Yangan. Since the two of you are so inseparable, how could I possibly force you apart? You're both 30 years old now. Every word from Madame Shu was sharp-edged. I've known Xu Yangan for many years. We met through Duan Jinju and Jiang Yanan. Yanan is my sister, and Duan Jinju is Xu Yangan's brother. Liu Menghan said calmly, I don't think too highly of myself, but your son has always treated me well. At first, I only saw him as an older brother and friend. I was dating other people at the time. My exes were Guorichen and Lu Yunli. Guorichen might not mean much to you, but when I met him, he was already a big-name celebrity compared to ordinary people. I was unlucky in love. He schemed against me and bullied me, so we broke up. I didn't do anything immoral or disgraceful. After parting ways with him, it took another 2 or 3 years before I dated Lu Yunli for a few months. You might have heard of Lu Yunli. He's also a successful man with considerable social status. But honestly, we weren't very compatible, so we went our separate ways. So, Auntie, tell me, am I really lacking self-respect, or have I done anything immoral? I've had 2 relationships in 4 years, with a year or 2 gap in between. That's not reckless, is it? Liu Menghan took a sip of the warm water poured by Xu Yangan as she spoke. Auntie, I had already been single for a while before getting together with Xu Yangan, and I didn't do anything inappropriate during that time. On New Year's Eve, Xu Yangan came to me, and we made a rational decision to be together. What exactly is the problem here? Liu Menghan said coldly. From now on, please stop interfering. Our child is none of your concern either. Just focus on taking care of the child you had with Xu Tian. Xu Yangan sat quietly beside Liu Menghan. He thought to himself, how could his wife be so captivating? Xu Yangan pulled her up. Let's go, honey. Oh right. Xu Yangan suddenly remembered, our wedding date has been moved up, whether you come or not. Think it over carefully. Chapter 927 Sleep by yourself. Liu Menghan and Xu Yangan left the Xu family's old residence and got into the car. Liu Menghan felt utterly exhausted, deep down. She was actually quite disheartened. After all, she's been the apple of everyone's eye since childhood. Yet she ended up suffering such grievances at Xu Yangan's home. Honey, it's lucky you don't have a spoiled princess temper, or you definitely wouldn't have been able to tolerate it. Liu Menghan pursed her lips. I don't have any spoiled princess temper. We're all human. I always try to be reasonable, but I also need to have my own principles and temper. You're truly wonderful. Marrying you is the greatest blessing of my life. Let's go grab something to eat, then we'll rearrange the wedding plans. How about the 5th day of the Lunar New Year? I checked the date, and it seems quite auspicious. Liu Menghan nodded. Alright, whatever you arrange is fine. I'll let my parents know when the time comes. My wife is so sweet. Come here. Give me a kiss. Xu Yang'an leaned over and kissed Liu Menghan lightly. Jiang Yanan was eventually picked up by Duan Jinju and taken to his villa. Duan Yashuan was also picked up from the Duan family's old residence by a driver called by Duan Jinju. Upon seeing Jiang Yanan, Duan Yashuan's eyes lit up with surprise. Mom Jiang, have you come to our house to see me? Can your legs still not walk? Just as Jiang Yanan was about to speak, Duan Jinju pulled Duan Yashuan aside. What do you mean your house? This is your mother's house too, from now on. Mom Jiang is your mother, she is your biological mother. Both Jiang Yanan and Duan Yashuan were stunned. You, Dad, what did you say? Duan Yashuan widened his eyes, looking at Duan Jinju, then at Jiang Yanan. Jiang, Mom. Duan Yashuan had been raised to be an exceptionally well-behaved child since childhood. For the first time today, he felt somewhat at a loss. He was naturally a composed child, but Duan Jinzu's words had completely bewildered him. Are you really my mom? Duan Yashuan clenched her fists, looking seriously at Jiang Yanan. Then why haven't you come to see me all this time? Why didn't you want me? Jiang Yanan's heart was suddenly pierced, but she wouldn't lie. She pulled Duan Yashuan closer. Baby, it's not that Mommy didn't come to see you. Mommy and Daddy divorced before, and Mommy didn't know about your existence then. She thought she only had your sister. The more Jiang Yanan spoke, the more her heart ached. The day Mom gave birth to you. Grandma took you directly and gave you to Dad. Mom didn't know. Dad was afraid of conflict, so he didn't know how to tell Mom later. So Mom thought, Mom only had your sister. Be a good boy, okay? Duan Yashuan's little head spun wildly. Oh, I understand. So where is my sister now? She's with Grandpa. But Grandpa doesn't know about Mom's leg injury right now, so Mom can't take you back to see Grandpa, so he doesn't worry about Mom, okay? When Mom's leg gets better and she doesn't need a wheelchair, I'll take you back to see Grandpa. How about that? Duan Yashuan took a long time to digest the news. Duan Jinju dragged him to the sofa. Go pour your mom some water, and you need to protect your sister from now on, or I'll teach you a lesson, okay? I'll protect my sister well. Duan Yashuan was very sensible. I'm going upstairs to video call my sister now. We have WeChat, I'm going to chat. Mom and Dad, you two can talk slowly. After Duan Yashuan finished speaking, he poured warm water and brought it to Jiang Yanan's wheelchair. Mommy, drink water. Mommy, I want a hug. Mommy can tonight. Duan Yashuan. No, Mommy's leg isn't feeling well. Daddy needs to take care of her. You sleep by yourself. Duan Yashuan. Chapter 928. We want a wedding. Jiang Yanan was helpless. Duan Jinju. Don't be so fierce with the child. You pick up Tianbao tomorrow and let them play. Okay, you call Dad first and tell him. Duan Jinju gave Duan Yashuan a playful look. You go upstairs to your own bedroom and chat with your sister. Duan Yashuan said oh and turned around to go upstairs, very disappointed. Jiang Yanan watched him until he disappeared around the stairwell. Yanan. Duan Jinju called out to Jiang Yanan. Jiang Yanan turned around and saw Duan Jinju holding a box in his hand. The smile on her face became hesitant. What's wrong? Is this, wife? Duan Jinju said very seriously. When we got married, I didn't give you a wedding. I want to wait until your leg is better. You can stand, and you can walk, then I'll give you a wedding. Jiang Yanan's breathing hitched for a moment. She couldn't help but feel a little teary-eyed. We're already an old married couple, almost 40. Jiang Yanan's voice was very soft. I don't think there's no need. Duan Jinju interjected. Jiang Yanan nodded. Indeed, there is a need, wife. Do you know, before, when you were in danger, I really thought you. Duan Jinju remembered that day. He had never been so terrified of anything in his life. That day, the air was cold and crisp, and the construction site was crowded with people. Duan Jinju was handling year-end tasks at the company when he received Luosuo's call. Luo Suo sounded on the verge of tears over the phone. Okay, I'm coming right away. After hearing Suo Suo's description, Duan Jinsu's heart momentarily stopped beating. Hanging up the phone, he immediately instructed Liu Feng to arrange his private helicopter and headed straight to the construction site. Upon arriving at the site and seeing the collapsed ruins, Duan Jinsu's heart felt as if it had died instantly. Outside, the usually cold and aloof Duan Jinju was shouting himself hoarse. Yanan. Duan Jinju watched the excavator digging into the earth, his heart aching terribly, fearing it might harm Yanan. In the end, the excavator could no longer dig, leaving only people to shovel the soil bit by bit. Finally, Duan Jinju lost his composure. He went over, adopting perhaps the most humiliating posture he had ever used in his life. Half kneeling on the ground, digging into the soil with his bare hands. Soon, Duan Jinsu's once delicate and tender hands became swollen, chapped, bleeding, with broken nails. The moment Duan Jinju saw Jiang Yanan's hair, he was almost moved to tears. My wife, that's my wife inside, I won't allow anything to happen to her. Everyone was stunned. They had never seen Duan Jinju like this before, out of control, uncomfortable, heartbroken, going crazy, losing sanity. Yanan. Duan Jinju snapped out of his memories. Back then, I had already decided, once you were rescued, I would definitely remarry you, spend my whole life with you. I never wanted to be separated from you again. Do you understand? Jiang Yanan sat in the wheelchair, dazed. She had seen the photos Luo Suo took. She had also seen Duan Jinsu's fingers with broken nails. I believe you. Jiang Yanan remained silent for a long time before finally giving this answer. Duan Jinju, there was a thorn in my heart before, your infidelity during our marriage and then having Duan Yashwan, until you told me Duan Yashwan is my child, I completely let go. I have no reason not to accept you. I understand your painstaking efforts, and I don't want to let you down anymore. Do you understand? Duan Jinju nodded. He pushed the wheelchair, intending to take Jiang Yanan to the bathroom. I'll help you freshen up a bit. You've already showered this morning, so you can take a proper bath tomorrow. Duan Jinju spoke very gently. Jiang Yanan nodded. Right, I'll give Suo Suo a call. During that time, it wasn't easy for her either, being just a young girl. Suo Suo. Duan Jinju thought for a moment. Call her after washing up and lying in bed. It's still early now. Young people stay up late anyway. There's plenty of time. After washing up, Jiang Yanan was carried by Duan Jinju to the master bedroom bed. She picked up her phone and dialed Suo Suo's number. Chapter 929. Cherish the present moment. Suo Suo and Zhu Hanxing were at the hotel. As soon as she stepped out of the shower, she saw Jiang Yanan's call flashing on her phone screen. Thinking something might have happened to Jiang Yanan, she hurriedly answered. Sister Yanan, what's wrong? You're still awake? Jiang Yanan's voice came through the phone receiver. Suo Suo glanced shyly at Zhu Hanxing beside her. Not yet, just had supper with my boyfriend, took a shower, and chatted a bit before bed. What about you, Sister Yanan? Is something wrong? Jiang Yanan laughed. No, I'm back, just wanted to let you know, you're on vacation now, right? Am I disturbing you? Jiang Yanan was a very kind person, always caring about her friends, colleagues, and subordinates. No way, you're dating someone. Suo Suo poured the wine while answering. Yeah, it's Zhu Hanxing. What? Jiang Yanan was so shocked her jaw nearly dropped, that Guy Zhu Hanxing finally figured it out. Suo Suo couldn't help but burst into laughter. Hanxing, Sister Yanan says you've finally come around and started dating. Zhu Hanxing took a sip of his drink. Yanan, what are you talking about? Should I just stay single, devote my whole life selflessly to the Jiang family and die at my workstation? Zhu Hanxing's humorous tone made Jiang Yanan even happier. However, she didn't forget to remind him, Suo Suo is a sincere, straightforward, and brave girl. You'd better treat her well. I know, Yanan, get well soon. I'll come visit you after the new year. Alright then, you guys have fun. I won't disturb you anymore. Jiang Yanan hung up the phone. Suo Suo's face turned bright red. Sister Yanan, really, what is she saying? Zhu Hanxing took a sip of his drink. What, you think she's defending you? Yeah, Sister Yanan is just the best. Suo is a big fan of Jiang Yanan and Duan Jinju. Ju Hansheng laughed, his ears slightly red from drinking. Being with you would make Yanan very happy. Suo also grabbed some alcohol and drank along with Ju Hansheng. She simply adored men who were older, more experienced, could guide her, broaden her horizons, and help her grow. I really like you. You know, the way I feel about you is, Suo said very sincerely, it's the kind of liking that comes with admiration, the kind where I think you're truly outstanding. Ju Hansheng pulled Suo close and kissed her. You're truly my treasure, so pure, kind, and smart. The way he looked at Suo was as if he were gazing at his own daughter. Everything Suo did was adorable, and it captivated him. Stay with me from now on. Ju Hansheng lowered his head to kiss Suo. I'll love you, either just the same as always, or even more deeply. 10 days later, Duan Jinju pushed Jiang Yanan's wheelchair to attend Liu Menghan and Xu Yangan's wedding. Their wedding caused a sensation throughout the city. Jiang Yanan saw the most beautiful bride. The ceremony began, and Xu Yangan's parents still attended. However, they were accompanied by Shutian and Xu Yangan's son. Jiang Yanan felt uneasy watching this, and even some guests couldn't help but whisper. Only Liu Menghan's parents, who were completely unaware, smiled happily yet reluctantly as they bid farewell to their daughter on her wedding day. Liu Menghan was very generous. She gave Xu Yangan's child a red envelope containing 20,000 yuan. Xu Tian looked at Liu Menghan, her eyes filled with envy. It was the first time she had even considered getting married. Liu Menghan didn't say anything either. She simply remained poised and smiled at Xu Tian. Women shouldn't make things difficult for each other. As the ceremony ended, Jiang Yanan was moved to tears. Duan Jinju stood by watching, then pulled her into an embrace. What's wrong? It's like watching your own little sister get married. Jiang Yanan nodded. It hasn't been easy. None of this has been easy. In this lifetime, who can predict what tomorrow brings? I don't know what awaits me in the future. But, I've only got a few decades left. Cherishing the present is what truly matters. Chapter 930 Loving You Like Life. 3 months later, at the Jiang family's ancestral home, Jiang Yanan could stand up and walk slowly now. However, she still couldn't move freely. You two have really kept this from me well. Jiang Yonghua's face showed anger. No wonder Yanan has been making excuses not to come back for so long. Jiang Yonghua felt a chill of fear just thinking about it. He had already lost his wife. If he were to lose his daughter too, he would completely lose the will to live. Even with Qianbao, he would be utterly miserable. Feeling that life held no hope, Jiang Yanan forced a smile, pretending to be nonchalant. Dad, what are you talking about? Let's not bring up the past anymore. I'm perfectly fine now, aren't I? There are no what-ifs. My leg is practically fine, just a little bothersome on rainy days, but nothing major. Besides, I was very careful with my diet during recovery, so there are no complications or lingering issues at all. Duan Jinzu's heart ached hearing this. Jiang Yonghua looked at Jiang Yanan helplessly and changed the subject. All right. But what makes me happy is that your personal matters are finally settled. Jiang Yonghua glanced at Duan Jinju. Now that the kids are at school, let me have a proper talk with you too. Jiang Yonghua sighed, leaned back on the sofa, and closed his eyes to rest for a while. As for me, I'm over 50. The first half of my life was spent working hard, and the second half relies on my daughter, but my daughter is capable and filial. The only regret in my life is not being able to spend more time with her mother. Jiang Yonghua opened his eyes and sighed again. Duan Jinju, I'm truly happy that you've always firmly chosen Yanan. From the first time you came to my home and I met you, I thought you were a reliable person, which is why I agreed to your marriage registration. In the past, there were many misunderstandings between you, but fortunately, they've been resolved now. Yanan, Duan Jinju, time flies. You've been through a lot these past few years, but fortunately, the road to happiness is strewn with setbacks, and after extreme adversity comes prosperity. You've finally come together. As Jiang Yonghua spoke, his heart grew heavier. It's just that you still have decades ahead of you, and now you have 2 adorable, intelligent, brave, and kind-hearted children. There's not much I can advise you on, only my wishes for your happiness. I just hope that no matter what happens in the future, You'll always communicate with each other, weathering both storms and the mundane. As Jiang Yonghua finished speaking, Jiang Yanan was already in tears. She sniffled and said, "Dad, don't worry, I know what I'm doing." Duan Jinju held Jiang Yanan tightly, his tone serious and earnest. "Dad, I can't promise you anything, but I know myself, I have integrity, a sense of morality, and I will take responsibility for my family and relationships." That night, Jiang Yanan and Duan Jinju returned to Duan Jinsu's villa. He took her to the rooftop terrace. "Honey, care for a drink." Duan Jinju fetched 2 bottles of well-decanted red wine and a pair of glasses. "Sure, what's the occasion? You're in the mood to share a drink with me, haven't you missed it?" "Not drinking since your injury," Duan Jinju teased. "Yes, so much time has passed." Jiang Yanan felt somewhat upset inside. The injury occurred in January, and now it's late April. Summer is about to begin soon. Jiang Yanan poured wine for both Duan Jinju and herself. The two drank for a while when suddenly fireworks bloomed in the sky. Jiang Yanan was pleasantly surprised, but Duan Jinju hugged her from behind. "Do you like it? It's prepared for you, to celebrate your rebirth. And also to celebrate the continuation of happiness for both of us." Jiang Yanan's eyes welled up with tears. "Yanan, after countless hardships and trials." Duan Jinju held Jiang Yanan tighter and tighter. "You should understand that my feelings for you have never changed. The happiness you seek, I do not know what it is, but I will strive to prove with my actions that I love you sincerely and passionately in this lifetime. I have always been a cold person, but you changed me." Yanan, amidst the vast sea of people and the multitude of beings, together in life, together in death. My forever is from the moment I first saw you until the day I lose my life. Duan Jinju turned his head and kissed Jiang Yanan's forehead. "Jiang Yanan, I, Duan Jinju, love you as much as I love my life." Jiang Yanan trembled all over, tears streaming down her face. "Yes, Duan Jinju. I will cherish your love and love you dearly in return, faithful unto eternity." Thank you for reading. This novel has now come to an end. I appreciate your support and for following along. See you in the next story.